The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy. Chapter 5. A month went by like this, and then another. Just before New Year's, his brother-in-law came to town and stayed with them. Ivan Ilyich was at court. Praskovia Fyodorovna was out shopping. When Ivan Ilyich came home and walked into his study, he found his brother-in-law there, a healthy, high-spirited man, unpacking his suitcase himself. He raised his head at the sound of Ivan Ilyich's footsteps and looked at him for a second without a word. That look told Ivan Ilyich everything. His brother-in-law opened his mouth to gasp and caught himself. That movement confirmed it all. Well, have I changed? Yes, there is a change. And however hard Ivan Ilyich tried afterward to steer the conversation back to his appearance, his brother-in-law wouldn't say a word. Praskovia Fyodorovna came home, and the brother-in-law went out to her. Ivan Ilyich locked the door and began studying himself in the mirror, straight on, then from the side. He picked up the portrait of himself with his wife and compared it with what he saw in the glass. The change was enormous. Then he bared his arms to the elbow, looked at them, pulled the sleeves back down, sat on the ottoman, and his mood turned blacker than night. Don't, he told himself. He jumped up, went to the desk, opened a case file, tried to read it, and couldn't. He unlocked the door and went into the hall. The drawing room door was shut. He walked up to it on tiptoe and listened. No, you're exaggerating, Praskovia Fyodorovna was saying. Exaggerating? Can't you see it? He's a dead man. Look at his eyes. There's no light in them. What is it he has anyway? No one knows. Nikolaev, that's the other doctor, said something, but I don't know. Leshetitsky, the famous one, said just the opposite. Ivan Ilyich moved away, went to his room, lay down and began to think. The kidney. A floating kidney. He remembered everything the doctors had told him, how it had torn loose, how it wandered, and with an effort of imagination, he tried to catch that kidney, to stop it, to fix it in place. So little was needed, it seemed to him. No, I'll go see Pyotr Ivanovich again. That was the friend who had a friend who was a doctor. He rang, ordered the carriage brought around, and got ready to go. Where are you off to, Jean? His wife asked, with an unusually sad and uncharacteristically kind expression. That uncharacteristic kindness infuriated him. He gave her a dark look. I need to see Pyotr Ivanovich. He went to the friend who had a friend who was a doctor, and with him on to the doctor. He found him at home and had a long talk with him, going through the anatomy and physiology of what, in the doctor's opinion, was happening inside him. He understood it all. There was one little thing, one tiny little thing, in the appendix. It could all be put right. Boost the energy of one organ, ease off the activity of another, absorption would follow, and everything would be fine. He was a little late for dinner. He ate, chatted cheerfully, but for a long time couldn't bring himself to go off and work. Finally, he went to his study and sat down to it at once. He read case files, he worked, but the awareness that he had set something aside, an important, personal matter he would come back to when he finished, never left him. When he was done, he remembered that this personal matter was his thoughts about the appendix. But he didn't give in to them. He went to the drawing room for tea. There were guests, there was talk, piano playing, singing. The examining magistrate was there, the welcome suitor for his daughter. Ivan Ilyich, as Praskovia Fyodorovna remarked, spent the evening more cheerfully than anyone. But not for 1 minute did he forget that those important thoughts about the appendix were waiting for him. At 11 he said good night and went to his room. Since his illness he had slept alone in a little room next to the study. He went in, undressed, and picked up a novel by Zola, but he didn't read it. He thought, and in his imagination, the longed-for repair of the appendix took place. Things were absorbed, things were expelled, proper function came back. Yes, that's how it all works, he told himself. You just have to help nature along. He remembered his medicine, sat up, took it, and lay on his back, listening for the good the medicine was doing, for how it was making the pain disappear. Just take it regularly and stay away from anything harmful. I already feel a bit better, much better. He began to press his side. It didn't hurt to the touch. Yes, I can't feel it. Really, it's much better already. He put out the candle and lay on his side. The appendix is mending. Absorption is underway. Suddenly he felt the old familiar pain. dull, gnawing, stubborn, quiet, serious, and in his mouth, the same familiar foulness. His heart sank, his head swam. My God, he said, again, and it will never stop. And suddenly the whole thing appeared to him from a completely different side. The appendix, the kidney, he said to himself. This isn't about an appendix or a kidney. It's about life and death. Yes, life was here, and now it's going, and I can't hold it back. Yes, why lie to myself? Isn't it obvious to everyone but me that I'm dying, that it's only a question of weeks, of days, maybe right now? There was light, now there's darkness. I was here, now I'm going there. Where? Cold washed over him. His breathing stopped. He heard only the beating of his heart. I won't exist. So what will there be? There will be nothing. So where will I be when I no longer am? Can this be death? No, I don't want it. Wanted to light the candle. Fumbled with shaking hands, dropped the candle and candlestick on the floor, and fell back onto the pillow. What's the point? It makes no difference, he said to himself, staring open-eyed into the darkness. Death. Yes, death. And none of them know, and none of them want to know, and none of them feel any pity. They're playing. Through the door, he could hear the distant swell of voices in the piano. It's all the same to them, but they'll die too. Fools, me first, them later. The same thing is coming for them. And there they are, having a lovely time. Animals. Rage was choking him, and a misery came over him, agonizing, unbearable. It could not be that everyone always was condemned to this horrible fear. Something's not right. I need to calm down. I need to think it all through from the beginning. And so he began to think it through. Yes, the start of the illness. I knocked my side, and I was still the same as ever, that day and the next. It ached a little, then a little more. Then the doctors, then the gloom, the dread, more doctors. And all the while I kept moving closer and closer to the edge. Less strength. Closer, and now I've wasted away. There's no light left in my eyes. Death is here, and I'm thinking about an appendix, thinking about how to patch up my gut, and this is death. Can it really be death? The horror seized him again. He was gasping for breath. He bent down and started hunting for the matches, and pressed his elbow against the nightstand. It was in his way, and it hurt him. He got furious at it, pressed harder in his anger, and knocked it over. Breathless, in despair, he fell onto his back, expecting death that very moment. The guests were leaving just then. Praskovia Fyodorovna was seeing them out. She heard something fall and came in. What is it? Nothing. I dropped something. Didn't mean to. She went out and came back with a candle. He lay there breathing hard and fast, like a man who has run a mile, staring at her with fixed eyes. What is it, Jean? No thing. I dropped it. What's the point of telling her, he thought. She won't understand. And she didn't understand. She picked the table up, lit his candle, and hurried out. She had a guest to see off. When she came back, he was lying just as before, on his back, staring upward. What is it? Are you feeling worse? Yes. She shook her head and sat for a while. You know, Jean, I'm thinking we should ask Leshatitsky to come to the house. That meant calling in the famous doctor and sparing no expense. He smiled venomously and said no. She sat a little longer, then came over and kissed him on the forehead. While she was kissing him, he hated her with all the strength of his soul, and had to fight not to push her away. Good night. God willing, you'll sleep.